Hey crafters, it's me, Jen Evers with Quality Crafts. Today I'm going to do a standing box card, and I'm going to include a couple of tips and tricks for you to make it uniquely your own. Let's get started. If you're an intermediate to advanced crafter, you might want to just look at the dimensions that I have right here and get started on your own. If not, if you're an intermediate down to beginner, then stick around. I'll walk you through all of the process. So let's go over the sizes of the paper. First of all, we need one big piece right here. It's 4.5 wide by 11 inches long. We're going to score that in 1, 2, 3, 4 different places, and those score marks are right here. And then we need all of these 5 different pieces. Okay, pieces number 1 and 3 are 4.5 by, or 4 by 5.25. And that's these. Pieces 2 and 4 are 3 3/4 by 5, and that's the white ones for the top. And then number 5 is just 1 3/4 by 4, and that's the small one right here. And we're creating a card that's going to look something like this. First thing you want to do is make sure that you cut all your pieces. So I gave you the dimensions of all the pieces. You want to have them cut and ready. And start with your long base piece. We're going to score it at 5.5, 7, 9, and 10.5. Okay, 5.5, 7, 9, and 10.5. And then go ahead and give those a good burnish with either your bone folder or your finger, because it's going to come together like this. On your largest piece here, as we realize that it's going to fold up like this, okay, roll it back out and bend this over. You're just going to put tape on this one edge. That's it. Okay, but before we tape this together, we need to prep these 2 pieces. And the only thing that you have to do is do your stamping and everything on them first, and then glue them down to the bases. Now, as decorating and adding things is always in your own style and preference, okay? I like to give you an easy way and quick way to make cards, and then you make them uniquely your own. So I don't always follow through and do complete decoration of projects, although sometimes I do. It just depends. Now, once you get these on here, one is going to go, as this rolls up here, on here as the back. So we're going to go ahead and glue that one down. And that's the part, there's all these little score lines, and then this is wide open. That's the part where you want it to go. That wide open part. Center it in the best you can. And then before we put it together, we're going to just flip this over, and this is the second panel. It goes on what's technically going to be the back of the card, so that you have a place to write what you want to the recipient. You can also decorate this panel as much or as little as you like. Okay, so flip it back over. Remember our tape here, we're going to take that liner off, and we're going to put this together so that it makes a box. So from the side, you're going to want to make sure that this makes a perfect either rectangle or square, however you want to call it, and that it lines up on both sides. Okay, and then press it down like this. It should completely flatten out very easily for you at this point. And if you flip it over, you can see you have that whole panel. The last little piece we have here that we pre-cut, we're going to put that right on the front. And then essentially the entire card is finished. And once you know how to just cut out these dimensions and put this together, this could easily be a 5-minute card for you. So that's it. It's super simple. I did promise you tips and tricks on how to make this uniquely your own. So there's 2 other things I want to add besides just the idea of putting on your own embellishments like this. That you can make this uniquely your own. You can make a tabbed piece like this that goes together, that if you put it right in the center or anywhere you want to put it, you can make your images pop out. really pop out. And when that folds, of course, it all goes flat. Now, if you do that, you have to keep in mind that it makes your card a lot taller if your image is large. Okay, and hold on, stay with me. I'm going to show you how to do this in case you want dimensions. Or you can put on a complete front panel like this, where you can decorate this as well. And then you could have your sentiment up here. And my mind is just boggled by all the things you could put on here and do with this. So I know that you guys are going to get creative. But let me show you how to make these two pieces. So this one is super easy. It's 1 inch by 5 inches, and you score it at every inch. So 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch. Again, 1 by 5. Really easy to do. And if you don't want your image sticking out that far, then you want to make the dimensions of this, maybe cut it in half and use it by 1/2 inches. The other piece that made the faceplate is 5 1/4 inches by 3. Now, if you don't want it that wide, you can go 2 inches or 1 inch or go wider. That's completely up to you. But because the depth of this is it's 1.5 inches, you have to make sure that you have 1.5 inches here and a piece for it to stick to the backing. Okay, so my piece is 5 1/4 by 3, and I scored it at 3 1/4. Yeah, 3 1/4 and 4 3/4. So I want to make sure I get that right for you, okay? And then that piece goes on the front. So I hope that all of these ideas just get your head spinning, that you're completely inspired by this, and that you get creating. And I'll see you guys next video.